Shares of the toy maker Hasbro are trading higher today after the company beat on revenue and profit expectations in the second quarter, also boosting full-year adjusted EBITDA expectations. Part of that beat was a strong performance from digital gaming, including from Monopoly Go. So here to dig into those results in the toy industry at large, we're going to be joined by James Zahn. He is the editor-in-chief of the Toy Book and senior editor of the Toy Insider. James, it's so great to have you. Love the background. Thanks for joining us. I want to start on the trends that you're seeing show up in an earnings print like this. We've got things like Magic the Gathering getting a huge shout out, obviously Monopoly Go. Are these trends that you're seeing in your day-to-day as well in terms of what people and consumers are interested in?
Hey, first of all, thanks for having me again. And yes, these are trends that are popping up. Monopoly Go, for example, that game is so big digitally that Hasbro spun it backwards, and there's a Monopoly Go board game now. So you went board game to digital, back to board game with a new play pattern. So there's a lot happening. Hasbro, of course, is refocusing on its core business of being a great toy and game maker. And the games, of course, are fueling a lot of growth because a lot of the players are older.
What does it tell you about the broader zeitgeist right now that you've got a game like Monopoly Go performing so well?
I think it's something that's cross-generational because we've changed society-wise. So people, of course, are playing with the phones in their pockets. They want something that they can play on the go. But at the same time, everybody loves that tactile experience of getting together with friends and family, playing something on the tabletop. And that's why Monopoly has been such a huge hit over the decades. And we've seen that with some of their other titles as well. It's actually a big anniversary year for a bunch of the Hasbro games like Connect 4 and Clue and Candyland. And those games, they just keep going and going.
Well, it brings up this other point that I want to get to with you, which is adult demand for toys. Talk to me about what that looks like and how these companies are setting themselves up to capitalize off that adult demand.
Sure. So over the past couple of years, we've seen this huge growth in the adult consumer, the adult collector or enthusiast. Some folks are calling them kidults. Well, the adult audience has always been there for toys. Since the beginning of time, if it can be collected, someone will be collecting it. But we really hit this point during the pandemic where folks were reconnecting with the stuff that they were into as kids. So now we have an industry where about 25% of all of the toys and games sold are for an adult audience. On Hasbro's earning call this morning, Chris Cox, the CEO, mentioned that about 60% of Hasbro's revenue is coming from consumers that are ages 13 and up. So what we've seen is a swing of older kids and grown-ups and teens and tweens. They're reconnecting with play and in new ways. So you've got these experiences, you've got the games, and you've got the premium price. Mattel, conversely, they're also getting into this. Both of these big titans are going direct to consumers. So you've got Mattel Creations as a platform, Hasbro Pulse, and then when you look beyond that, even Funko, Lego, Jazzwares, they're all creating their own platforms to meet the customer demand for those adult items.
Really quickly here, James, when is the best time to be buying toys if you are smart enough and organized enough to be thinking ahead of the holiday season this year? When should people be buying those gifts?
I always say late September, early October, great time because all of the hot lists are going to be out. You're going to know what to get before it's sold out. At the same time, if you're looking for discounts, now is a great time to be hitting up those closeout channels like Ross and Ollie's and stuff and looking for maybe some of last year's stuff that you can get at a really deep discount.
All right, James, always appreciate it. Thank you for making time for Yahoo Finance.
That was
James Zahn. He is the editor-in-chief of the Toy Book and senior editor of the Toy Insider.